distinguished invitees, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, allow me to thank you all, especially the management of this institution, for bestowing on me this singular honor of standing before you all today at this truly remarkable, elegant and prestigious ceremony of convocation, where the students pass out of the college after a rigorous process of academic training and knowledge acquisition. On this occasion of this institution completing more than 80 years of its service in the field of education, I can feel the sense of pride and feeling of achievement that pulsate the mental space of all those associated with this college. It is born out of the honor bestowed on it of being the first in Kerala and 15th in India amongst the autonomous education institution in a recent rating by EW Educational Survey. Faculty as well as the current and past students, former students. I'm sure that this is one of the many firsts that the Sikla College had earned in its long and historical journey, and surely going to be the herald of many more such accolades to come its way. Friends, education, knowledge, and wisdom are topics of which volumes have been written, both about the process and its purpose, outcome and its benefits. The process, the purpose, the outcome and the benefit. Please note. Since so much has been written about it, it is easy to quote one or two to reinforce the point that you would like to make at any point in time. I too would like to quote one of them, as I hope, or rather which I hope is relevant to this occasion, a quartet or a shloka about the process of learning and through that its outcome. For manager had somewhat mentioned the gist of it in his own words. The shloka reads like this: Acharyad padam adatte, padam shishya sumedhya, padam sabrahmacharibhya, padam alakramenacha. It says that the process of education is divided equally into 4 parts. Learning or knowledge comes in 4 phases. From the teachers, acharyas, from within are our own efforts, sumedhya, from classmates, the sabrahmacharibhya, and the final as we grow and evolve, kalakramenacha. We all learn a lot from teachers, some of the best minds who exposed us to newer theories, concepts and practices, plenty from those sitting around us, ignited our own minds to understand something new and left a lot for the time to put in its perspective. Time is a big teacher and there are a lot that only time can say. There's a lot of difference of perspective in the way people at 18 looks at and people at 80 look at. You learn it only by experience, and no amount of preaching from this kind of a pulpit or this kind of a venue will suffice. All these together lead us to a perspective that was uncharted sometimes. Learning comes in 2 ways, they say. Either a serendipity, something totally new, or through a feeling of pleasure. Oh, I have heard it. I've come about it. I've heard something about it. Oh, this is the... Swami Vivekananda says that by learning or by education, nothing new is coming to you. It only refines whatever is within you. this is precisely the position of the process of learning, as either as mystery or as coincidence, that is serendipity or déjà vu. The process of education only continues, it never concludes. If the process called education is evolutionary, rather rounded, the purpose or its outcome is equally fascinating. Education is not the preparation for life, but it is life itself, says John Dewey, the American philosopher. From this perspective, it is correct to say that education is a progressive discovery of one's own ignorance. It's a small window that opens you to the vast unknown thing that surrounds you. This is precisely what the Indian thought process had mentioned, that Vidya Datati Vinaya. The purpose of education is to make you humble, modest, and self-effacing, because there is so much outside which you don't know. It is an ability to adapt to new ideas, to appreciate one another, and constantly change for better. In true sense of the word Catholic. Catholicism, I'm sure that you all know the meaning of the word, actual word, which is being derived from the Greek adjective Katholikos, meaning universal. Learned clergy would correct me if my pronunciation is wrong. Where I'm told that there is another word, adverb, which says I'm katholos, on the whole. The whole thing is that Catholicism talks about universe, the Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the concept that India enunciates. Friends, the world today is moving fast on the four lanes of technological advancement, disruptive innovation, information and communication onslaught, and digital overplay. Allow me to continue and repeat it. The four lanes on which this world is traveling very fast is technological advancement, disruptive innovation. Every day, any new innovation is becoming disruptive of the existing scenario. Information and communication onslaught, and digital overplay. Each one of us can talk to you, or probably you also can talk about these for an hour each on each of these topics. The strange paradox of today is the interplay of information overload and misinformation on the one hand, and the human beings staring at the next pandemic of loneliness. It's a huge paradox that is waiting us. Global village concept. World is becoming together, but the distance between human beings are increasing. Fast pace has become the norm in all fields. And three things that you should be conscious of, or be prepared, or aware. I hate to give you advices, because this is not an age when you need advice, but only a humble suggestion, friendly suggestion. Three things: speed, scale, and specialization. The world has defined these three things as the cornerstone for defining your employability, efficacy, and utility as provider. Unless you don't have these three things, the market forces will not have much demand on you. Also, as graduates, you are going into a world where artificial intelligence is not anymore a science fiction. It's a constant part of your life. AI will do things that we once thought were impossible. Some of the jobs you have studied for may work differently or may not even exist in the years to come. There's not a reason for fear. Let's not fear. Change is a constant. That's the only constant. It keeps on changing. We also faced it our previous generation also faced. You are facing it another way, accustoming yourself to the changing patterns of life. It's not a reason for fear, but for vigilance. You have to be watchful of how things are turning out. Update yourself continuously and ensure that your unique human abilities can meet AI head-on and yoke it to your will. Our education institutions will have to adjust to this need of the hour and prepare both themselves and the students to meet the challenges of the future by addressing the emotional, pedagogical, and scholastic consequences, while at the same time enhancing employability and competitiveness of the young generation. Dear scholars, on this moment of fulfillment, a big round of applause also goes to the family members. All the teachers, all the speakers before me mentioned this fact. They flagged this point, or I'm only reinforcing that. Who supported you day in and day out, enabling you to have tireless studies and tireless state and effortless studies. Behind every successful student, there is a set of surprised family members, says the funding statement. So the kind of child I have, how can he be successful? Every parent thinks that way, in a pleasantly, lovingly, affectionate manner. May you all, each one of you, keep pleasantly surprising your parents immensely at every stage in your life. Finally, education is what remains after one has forgotten everything that is taught in school or that you have learned in school. It is a sense that remains with you after you have passed or long since left the college. This is a famous statement by Albert Einstein. The challenge is less in knowing the vast possibilities and problems around us. The challenge is less in knowing the vast possibilities and problems around us, but more in adapting and the acquired skill set to suit our own limited environments. There is a limited environment in which we all function. Let us make those small changes. We all are aware of the large problems outside, but we should have the capacity to discern the need of the hour. May you be given the wisdom to discern what is possible to do and what is required to be done, and the strength to use that insight judiciously for the all-round development or all-round benefit of all those around us. Thank you for your attention. Jai Hind.